the question is, animals, but more specifically pets, do they go to heaven? Yeah, that's a good question. So, so a couple things. First of all, I think there's a common belief amongst Christians that animals don't have souls, and I think this belief is mistaken. I think the Bible actually affirms or presumes that animals do have souls. I'm now trying to remember. I think it's in Ecclesiastes where it talks about. It says, "Who can say whether the soul of a human goes up and that soul of an animal goes down?" Or it makes this reference to both humans and animal souls and what happens to them after they die. So there seems to be this presumption that they do have souls. So I think there's biblical evidence that animals have souls. And I think if you were to study the question of the philosophical question of the mind-body problem and the question of whether we humans have souls, I think through that investigation, what you discover is that really even animals would have to have souls in order for them to be alive. Okay. Now, does that mean that animals go to heaven? I don't know, but I don't think so. It's possible that God would just, when an animal dies, its soul dies with it. Its soul sleeps. No, just kidding. But that the animal soul just is extinguished. And so there wouldn't be sort of like numerical identity with the animal that we might have, a pet, Fido. He dies and we'll see him somehow in heaven. But I do believe that it's quite likely that there will be animals in the afterlife. I mean, not in heaven, but in the new heavens and the new earth. And that God could kind of, create ex nihilo, out of nothing, new animals to populate whatever world we might be living in. It's been a while since I've studied this, but I think I recall thinking, like, when I did study this, that animals might have souls, but they don't have spirits. And it's a spirit that is the component of the soul that allows us to continue our existence in heaven or in the new world. And that maybe animals don't have that component of a soul. But again, I think we're probably getting into too much detail here. But if you were to study the philosophy of mind, I bet you would kind of come across this question. But that's my take, that probably our pets don't die and go to heaven, but that there will be still animals in a future new heaven and new earth.